Hallmarkies podcast. We are back with another one of our non-Hallmark holiday 2018 film reports, where we give our thoughts on films from all the different networks, and we just have so much fun. So let us know what you thought about these films. And I am Rachel, and Amy is here.
Hey guys.
Yes. So you have been hard at work. Amazing. Everybody should heap tons of praise on Amy because you have been doing all of your studies and watching all of these non-Hallmark films and so much more. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm slacking on the Hallmark films front. I just decided I'm just going to watch them all the day that I finish my finals. I'm just going to sit for consistent 16 hours and just watch Hallmark Christmas movies to help me recover.
It will be intense. I'll be excited. You have to report, maybe do a feed on Twitter where you report each one that you see or something like that.
I'm so behind at this point.
And then they just added one. Did you know that?
Oh my God.
There's 38 now. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yikes.
But it'll be a great way to die if we're gonna die.
What, did they just make one up in the
I don't know. It's Christmas for the books is what it's called. And so that weekend we will have we'll have 5 movies, I guess, that weekend. I don't know. It's gonna be very exciting. So but I saw 8 non-Hallmark movies this week since we last reported. And how many did you see?
I think I have 5. Yeah, 5.
Okay, good. And one of those you've already reported on, and so I'll wait till then to see if we cover it. But let's just dive in. Some of these I've seen, some of them you've seen, some of we've both seen. It's very fun. We're going to first talk about Santa's Boots. This was on Lifetime, and this starred Megan Hilty and Noah Mills. And this idea is this was supposed to be sort of a reverse Cinderella, where the Santa, he works at this tree farm, but then he decides to become being Santa is his true passion, which is okay. And he leaves his boots there, and then she's trying to track him down because he's gone, because his dad is sick or something. Anyway, she's trying to hunt down the Santa based on the boots. And what was your overall thoughts about this one?
It was cute, but I feel like the boots thing came in a little bit too late in the movie. I was a little confused about the name for a while into it. It wasn't my favorite, but it definitely had some cute moments. I liked the little Santa's village they created. I thought was beautiful. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I'm basically on the same page as you. I think that Megan Hilty really fought for some good moments. But I was just hoping, I guess maybe I think here's Santa's Boots. I think, this is going to be really funny. And this is going to be more lighthearted. So maybe I went into the wrong expectations. It was actually trying to be kind of a drama.
Yeah, it was kind of sad.
Yeah, it was sad. It was what are you doing with your life and your goals and he wanted to be Santa and not work for the tree farm, and I don't know. It was just a little boring for me. It just didn't quite do it. Basically, I was I do like Megan Hilty, but I just didn't. I don't think they should have gone sort of sincere and I don't know. It was disappointing. I was just hoping it would be kind of light and fun, kind of like Naughty or Nice. When hey, this is a cute Hallmark movie when Hillary Burton gets the Naughty and Nice list, and there's all these shenanigans that happen. I was hoping to be kind of like that, she gets Santa's boots. And I don't know. There's some kind of magic with them.
I was hoping he was gonna be the real Santa type of thing. I was expecting that to show up in some way, shape, or form. The tree farm was a cover up for his uncle was actually Santa. It was retired.
Yeah, I agree. I was hoping too. So instead, there was just all this family drama about this tree farm and your legacy and whatever. And I don't
And
know.
Andrea Brooks broke up with him. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. It was a missed opportunity, I think, to do something fun. And they've had such fun with magic on Lifetime this year that it was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I gave it 2 stars.
Yeah, I'm going to agree 2 stars.
Yeah. So next I have one that I've seen called Shoelaces for Christmas. And this was on BYU TV. And I have to say, one of my least favorite genres of movies is what I call sullen teen dramas. And some of these get a ton of praise. And I acknowledge they're good movies. They're just not my favorite. Like, I don't really like movies like Edge of 17. I did like Lady Bird because it was a little bit funny, but it wasn't my favorite. That whole like sullen, miserable teenager is just not my favorite.
No.
And it's a very popular sort of genre. Okay. And even if the character gets redeemed in the end, the fact that I've had to spend an hour and change, 2 hours sometimes with this horrible teenager makes just not for me. It's not my favorite. And so this movie is about this teenager that is probably the most selfish human being I've ever seen in my life. And she was horrible. Her mother has cancer, she finds out. And her whole concern is whether they'll still be able to have their Christmas party so she can show off her outfits to her friends and her like crush or whatever. Because her mom, she's like, how could you do this to me? And I was just like, what? What's wrong with you? You're a horrible human being. Anyway, and so she ends up storming off because she's mad. She literally leaves the hospital where her mother is being treated, and she storms off, and she ends up like in this shady part of town. And so she like takes refuge in this mission or whatever, this shelter. And they like get her back to her parents and whatever. And so she's forced to volunteer at the shelter. And her dad says like she can't have this big trip to Paris that they've been planning if she doesn't do the shelter. And so I was like, she does not deserve anything. Anyway, she ends up meeting this little girl and this mom at the shelter, and they become friends. But even then, she was still the worst. I just hate, she was awful. I just hated her so much. I was like, what's wrong with you? And anyway, she does end up kind of learning and becoming a better person, but it was too little too late for me, that's for sure. So it's not like it's terribly made, and they do a good job with what they're given, but I gave it 1.5 stars. I did not enjoy it. So.
Oh my god, I hate movies like that. Like,
okay, good.
And as a recovering teenager, that's what I call myself, because I'm 21 still. So my teen years aren't that far behind me. I'm just like, I'm sorry, but not all teenagers are selfish brats that don't care about anyone else around them. Some are, trust me.
Yeah.
I know some that are, but like, they're not. Some of us are like reasonable and kind of human-ish, you know.
Yeah, and there's movies, to me, something like Juno works for me because it's funny, you know, and there are loving moments, and she's just kind of snarky. She's not mean. And so many of these movies, I think there's a meanness to them that I never, and something I also love, Perks of Being a Wallflower. And that movie, to me, he's not like mean. He's sad and has problems, but like he's never a mean kid. And so, I mean, I guess there's a bully in there, but that's not the lead character. And so just these sullen teenagers who hate their parents, and I just don't connect with them. It's just not for me. But anyway.
Your parents are right. PSA, your parents are normally right.
That's
Don't tell my mom I said that, but
Yeah, that's right. One quick one that I've seen that's just a short, it's just 30 minutes. It's so cute though that you should all see it. And it's called Angela's Christmas. Totally the opposite of Shoelaces for Christmas. It's about this little girl. It's animated, of course, so you know I'm going to love it. But it's about this little girl, and she goes to this church, and she finds out, she sees the baby Jesus in the nativity or whatever, and she was worried about it because the doll she thinks is not wrapped in enough warm. It's going to get cold. So she ends up taking the doll and getting it enough and then getting it back. So it's a pretty simple, it's just like her sort of espionage to get the doll and then like getting it warm and then bringing it back. And it's super cute, super sweet, nice message. And if you're looking for something that's a little more Jesus forward without being, then this would be a nice little one to do.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. You should check it out. And the animation was really nice, had nice little music. It's based on Frank McCourt's book that I think Angela's Ashes is the name of the book, but this is a short story within the book. Mm-hmm. So there you go. We're going to talk about Christmas Lost and Found. This, we were really unsure. The description was really confusing because I wasn't sure in the preview show whether she was being sort of punished because she was a Grinch about Christmas, or that's why she was sent on the scavenger hunt. But it ended up being kind of her grandma just ended up feeling like, oh, you're overworking and you need to take a break, more than she's just like a Scrooge about Christmas. Would you agree?
Yeah, it was like meddlesome grandma.
Yeah. And also she wanted her to spend time with the hot neighbor. Yeah. I ended up liking this way more than I expected. It was a lot of fun. I did enjoy it. It's Diane Ladd from Chesapeake Shores. And then you have T.S. Surkar, who she goes to visit her grandma, and she accidentally ends up throwing out these beloved ornaments that her grandma had just given her. And before that, she'd had some kind of mini tryst with the hunky neighbor next door, but then like it never went anywhere, I guess, kind of a thing. Anyway, and so you don't know who it is that did the scavenger hunt. She gets the scavenger hunt for the ornaments, so somebody got them off of the trash bin. And you don't know if it's the hunky neighbor, if it's the grandma, if it's, for quite a while at least. And so, because she agrees to do this window display for this department store and while she's in town, and they must be not very good planners at this department store. I think most department stores probably have their winter windows like planned out in summer, but but we'll allow it. But anyway, and so she takes on this additional job, and I was a little unclear if they were like paying her for this or if it was weird. It was a little unclear.
Like, why would she just be doing this for fun? She's off of work. I don't get it. Okay.
Well, and the grandma is very like frustrated. She's like, what? This is the one time I'm going to get to see you. How can you be doing this? And I really did think was funny was all of the ways that she tries to stop the grandma from buying Christmas tree because she doesn't want to admit that she lost the ornaments. That was pretty funny. And so then they finally get the Christmas tree, and she kind of has enough from the scavenger hunt to like, and anyway, it's, and each of the clues is like a little poem. And I did like the hunky guy. I guess it's, I don't know if it's Edward Ruddle, but he was very handsome. And I thought they had pretty good chemistry between the two of them. It was fun.
Yeah, they had really good chemistry.
Yeah.
I really liked them together. It was cute.
Yeah, and she is kind of a baby when she finds out who did the scavenger hunt. She's kind of a baby about it.
Mhm.
And like her big, how could you lie to me kind of thing was like, ugh. But luckily it didn't last too long. And
Yeah.
so I didn't mind it too much. But
And he didn't even really lie to her. Like, honestly, I feel like what happened was like completely pretty much all of it was just kind of in good fun at the end of the day. It wasn't like malicious intent by her grandmother or anything. And she just made too big of a deal out of it.
Yeah, agreed. Like he was just helping her out. And so it was dumb, but it I don't know. We all have our like kind of petty moments. So it was fine. It was her design for the windows was both her stark white I'm in the spirit world design was terrible, and then her final design, which was supposed to be like the department store through the ages, was so lame. I was just like, come on, you don't even have what. It didn't do much for me. Also, part of it is a live set of mannequins in the finished design, and I'm like, how is that gonna work? Like, what?
That's so weird to me. Like, what?
Yeah.
You pay someone to just stand in there for 6 hours and pretend to take selfies of themselves?
Yeah, I mean, this is their window display that they're supposed to use, but they don't even have it set up until like it's gonna be. I mean, she is home for a long time. She got a lot of time off work for this. But how many days of shopping are going to be left to use this window display is what I wonder. But nevertheless, it was charming. She was very charming, I thought, in the role, aside from being, the the little petty part at the end. She was really likable. I thought he was great. I thought that Diane Ladd was great. Overall, it was just very charming. I really enjoyed it.
Yep, it was cute.
Yeah. So I gave it 4 stars.
I gave it a 3.75.
Yeah, so pretty close. Yeah, good one. All right, so then we have Christmas in Tennessee. And this one has Andrew Walker, Rachel Boston in it. And I thought I was going to really like it. But I don't know.
You didn't like it?
No, I was disappointed. I'm moving that. Well, here. So let's ask first. So this is the movie. This is about this baker in this town in Tennessee. And Andrew Walker comes in. He's this real estate developer, and she gets all these orders to make all these cookies for this couple that she thinks their daughter thinks is Santa. He comes in. He wants to turn the whole town into a ski resort, and he's trying to. And his assistant is like insane, and yeah, and so of course they're adversaries, but they both like experience loss, and so they end up connecting, and they end up getting locked in a closet at one point. And I don't know, I guess for me, as much as I like both of these actors, I just thought that it was kind of dull. It just didn't do anything for me. And I just said, I thought it took itself very seriously. And maybe I was in the mood for something sort of fluffier and funnier. And I also thought that just all the save the town stuff was so boring for me. And I guess maybe this is a sign I've watched too many Christmas movies, because maybe if I'd seen this at the very beginning of the season, I would have liked it better. But I'm just tired of save the farm, save the town, save the thing. And so all of that kind of storyline didn't really do it for me. And I would have liked more time with them together, more romance time. And yeah, I have to say, I didn't think that they had as good a chemistry as I hoped they would have. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like electric. It wasn't enough to carry the movie for me. And I don't know, I just found it kind of boring. It just, but you loved it. So what did you like about it?
I really, really liked it. I thought it was really good. And I'm not a big, like, save the blank type of movie person. But I feel like it wasn't that, like, heavily, I feel like it wasn't a heavy save the town type of thing. I feel like it was less, because in all actuality, if this had been real life, you could have called the police for trespassing on these people for, like, trying to buy your store, and you say no and they keep coming back. I liked how they got locked into the closet.
Yeah,
I thought it was super funny that this lady forged her signature, because I'm pretty sure that's a felony. So I hope that lady went to jail.
For bank fraud. Yeah, mail fraud.
Yeah, I'm like, go to prison. I thought there was a missed opportunity, though, because I love real Santas. I love this. So I thought he kept talking about, and he kept calling his mom and like, oh yeah, I'm going to be home for Christmas. I'm going to be home for Christmas dinner, blah, 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 whatever. And then Mrs. Claus and Mr. Claus appear and they buy all these cookies. So I was expecting for him to go home and go to... Yes, I was expecting for him to be the son, and he was like just trying to, like, you know, have a career and not be the future Santa or whatever. And I was expecting, and I think it was so stupid, oh, these lovely people in a sleigh picked me up. No, you could have just made them be his parents, because I totally would have bought them as his parents. And he was just like trying not to accept the family business, and then he's like, you know what, I'm going to accept the family business, and you know what, we're going to have a bakery now, and it's going to be the Claus Bakery, and it's going to be all fine and dandy, and everything's going to be great. But no, there was some other random lady when he showed up at the house, and this lady was there for like 5 seconds, and I was like, okay, pointless.
Amy, you just made me very upset, because that would have been so great. I didn't even think of that, but that would have been amazing. And I felt like I needed more of that kind of fluff in this movie, something that was fun.
Yeah.
It was pretty serious, actually, like serious with the daughter. So even like things with the Santa was kind of serious. Like, are they gonna come? Are they gonna, like, we're gonna be able to? They're gonna pay for their food, because, or we're not gonna be able to ship the cookies. And you know, there was all this supposed tension, and there really wasn't a whole lot of cute moments. There were little moments where, you know, where Andrew Walker like would sort of laugh about the chair falling apart or things like that. But everything was pretty pretty tense. And I mean, also sort of the idea that he's all of a sudden going to become a furniture broker in this town that's so poor that they're all like tempted to sell everything, and is ridiculous. But you know, all that could have been fine. Like I liked Rachel Boston. I loved Rachel Boston last year in Christmas in Angel Falls, which was also very sincere and very sort of this tension. But I don't know, for whatever reason, this one I just found myself getting a little bored. And maybe it was just my mood when I watched it. I don't know. And I was hoping for something fluffier, but I don't know. I just didn't love it as much as I was hoping I would love it. It's not awful, but it wasn't my favorite. And so I ended up giving it 2.5 stars.
Oh, I gave it 4.5.
Oh.
I'm gonna watch it again. I think it might be my favorite so far off network.
Interesting. Okay, good. Great.
Yeah.
Then we saw Snow White Christmas. Snow White Christmas is on Ion. It's supposed to be sort of a Christmas modern take on Snow White. And the character's name is Blanca Snow. And so she has this wicked stepmother, and the whole thing is that she's this candy maker. She makes candy apples, and the will for her dad's estate is going to be read on Christmas Day. And so the stepmother creates this whole plan that she is going to hypnotize Snow or Blanca. She's going to hypnotize Blanca and she is going to send her out to this weird motel, and she's going to make her forget about the will and forget kind of who she is. And there end up being these two guys that are kind of, one is sent by the stepmother to kind of monitor her. But basically they both end up courting her in this weird motel. It's like the most festive,
like roadside motel.
Yeah,
it so weird.
It was so weird. And so what did you think about this one?
This movie was just like strange. Like,
yeah, it really was.
I feel like they upplayed certain parts and then didn't with others. Also, I don't think it was one specific like princess thing. I was like, wait, how is this Snow White? Like, what? It was super confusing. She wasn't sleeping, so I was like, what? I don't know. It was super weird. I didn't exactly like the stepmother actress and the BFF, like their relationship was really weird. I was like, what is he getting out of this? And I don't know. I feel like she should have just been like, her father passed away. She should have had her own contact with the lawyer, not through her stepmother, especially if she was turning 25. Like, she was more than old enough to contact this lawyer herself and talk to her. So I just thought that was kind of like a weird thing. Also, who gets hypnotists? The two guys, the prince guy, I was like, what is wrong with you? You just sound like you're coming out of some, like, no one talks like that. Like, it was weird. I didn't like it. And I was just so confused. Like, it was cute, but I was so confused the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually liked the stepmother. I thought she was really campy, and I thought she was intentionally kind of being really campy and having a good time with the performance. It's Carolyn Hennessy was her name. The assistant, I'm not sure who that is, but he was maybe a little too much even for camp. But I thought that she was fun. I enjoyed her, and I think that there was a lot of creative ideas here. It's kind of Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and Snow White all mashed into one, really. But I think there were a lot of creative ideas, and I appreciate that. I think it just missed the mark because there was a lot of time spent with these two guys courting her in this weird motel, and that was not that interesting or funny or enjoyable. And I don't know. I just feel like if there was some way that they could have had more of a story instead of her being just this weird sort of, it was almost like maybe Rapunzel as well, because she's like holed up in this weird hotel and they have to go and like court her. I don't know. It was weird. And if they could have given some kind of a story, like even something silly, like say the baking competition in the Christmas Switch, the one with Vanessa Hudgens. Even if you had some silly story like that, as opposed to her just kind of
hanging out in a motel.
Yeah.
Also, like, she only has a month paid at this motel, so like, shouldn't she be looking for a job or something to do with her life?
Yeah, I don't know. She was just there to like make everybody have a great Christmas or something. But I just feel it's a little frustrating sometimes when you feel like something's really close. This could have been Christmas perfection, you know? It was really close, but just not quite there. It didn't quite get it. But I do appreciate the attempt to try to do something different. And my problem was just that middle section. I got kind of bored. Like, I was really excited when it first started, and then I thought it ended fine.
I feel like someone at this motel would have called and seen if she was reported like a missing person. Like, that's what, like, that whole middle part, I was like, this is so sketchy. I don't know.
It was sketchy, and it just wasn't interesting weird. Like, if it was Because, I mean, like, something like Christmas Perfection, when you think about it, it's, like, so absurd and so ridiculous because it's this fantasy and everything. But it's so funny and it has something, you know, there's something to say that, like, you're not even worried about any of that because you're just enjoying yourself. This, it's just not interesting. Neither of these dudes were interesting. And so it was just kind of like, oh, man, get back. Kind of reminded me of, like, a not great episode of Once Upon a Time. Kind of like, I like all these characters, but this is boring. But I gave it 2.5 stars just because I did appreciate. I liked the stepmother. I thought she was campy and fun, and I thought it was, for Ion at least, it was pretty well made. I liked the costumes. I liked, you know, some of the things. I thought they did a pretty good job, and overall, it was cool that they tried something different, but it just didn't quite nail it. But 2.5 stars for me.
I gave it 1 star. I've never seen an Ion Christmas movie. This was my first one. I didn't even know I had the channel.
Okay.
And so I looked this up. So yeah, I don't know. It didn't do it for me. And
you should definitely see Snowman's, because that's the best Ion that Ion has ever done.
Okay.
It's really good. It's about a snowman that comes to life. And it's Jesse Hutch.
Okay. That works. Yeah.
And one more, we're going to talk about No Sleep Till Christmas. This was on Freeform, and it stars Odette and Dave Annabelle. And this is a pretty clever premise for a romantic comedy. They are both people who have terrible insomnia, cannot get more than an hour or 2 sleep a night, which I relate to greatly because that is that is my problem. And that's why I'm able to get so many podcasts out, is because of my insomnia. But anyway, so the Odette's character, Lizzie, is stressed about this wedding, and she's engaged to this super nice guy, and Josh is his name, and she just cannot get to sleep. So she tries all these things. One day she's driving, which is probably the worst thing to do when you have insomnia, but she's driving with sunglasses on.
Why?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to keep you awake? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. Because if it works, then you're falling asleep at the wheel. Like, what? Yeah. Anyway, but she does. And she ends up hitting Dave Annabelle's, and because he's out for a run, trying to get tired. And so she takes him to the hospital, but they end up just in the parking lot, and they end up falling asleep, and she sleeps all the way through the night. And so she comes up with this scheme of that they are going to, that for whatever reason, they can not sleep together, but sleep in the same bed, because then they'll be able to sleep. Anyway, it's kind of convoluted, but it works, I think, actually pretty well. And of course, things get more and more complicated the further this scheme goes on, and she's planning this wedding, and yet she's getting closer and closer to this guy that she's quasi sleeping with. And I don't know, what did you think of this?
I liked it. I think it was like kind of I don't want to say like a more adult Christmas movie, but I guess it was like more adult without being too like shock factory. There was some like humor in it that I was, like life size too. There was some humor in it that I was like, I don't know if I like this. But I think it just it was just really super cute. And I like the fact that the fiance, when he came in, and instead of thinking they were cheating, he was like, no, we're going to go to the sleep clinic. Like, that's gonna prove it, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was cute, and I liked too that they were a real life couple. So I think that gave them a lot more chemistry, and the way they were kind of joking off each other and bickering and stuff. I feel like it gave it more realistic feel because they were together and they're together in real life. So yeah. And the ending was perfect.
I really enjoyed it too. I thought it was a very clever premise, and I thought they executed it well. They would be like broke for how much money they would spend at these hotels. That was like a nice hotel. That was not a
They needed to stay in the motel trucking from the snow.
And I thought it built pretty well. I liked their banter back and forth. I only had, and she is just gorgeous. Odette, wow, she is beautiful. But they were both really fun. I enjoyed both. I liked their individual arcs. I thought they were pretty well written characters. And as somebody who deals with insomnia, I thought they got it pretty right. Like the feeling and the stress and and a while ago, I just kind of gave up worrying about it. And I just get whatever sleep I can get. So some nights I get 2 hours, some nights I sleep really well. And I'm just like, okay, that was nice.
Yeah.
Luckily my job kind of allows me to do that. But anyway, there were only 2 things that I thought could have been done better. I do agree there was some adult humor, but I was okay with it. It was basically like PG-13, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But I did think that it was pretty brutal. I felt really bad for, like, I kind of wish they had not had her fall
ceremony,
giving her vows. Like,
yeah,
he had been such an outstanding guy. He had been such a great guy that I kind of wish they had had that happen just before the wedding or something else, because that felt a little mean. And I don't know. It was just like, oh, I feel so bad. He's like crying, and I don't know. It was just hard.
Also, like, they were arguing in front of all their friends and family, and I'm just like, it's probably not the best idea to just be standing up there, like, arguing about sleep, but okay.
Yeah. And so I probably would have, had it end, just had their relationship at the wedding get called off a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
I think that would have been just as dramatically effective, and it wouldn't have made me feel so bad for this guy. Also, I kind of wish we had gotten like a better finale kiss between.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really we got like a little year later, like, little peck before the joke about the baby, which was very funny. But I don't know. I could have used it, just a nice finale kiss. And so those are my only criticisms. But other than that, I really did enjoy it, and I definitely am very curious to see more from this couple. Like, I'd be curious for them to do a bunch of little rom-coms together, because they were really fun.
Yeah. I really liked her, Odette, right? Yeah, I really liked her because she was in Supergirl last season.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, and she was like really cool, and like, yeah, but she was only on for 1 season. She's off this season, so
okay. Well, I gave it 4 stars.
I gave it 3.5.
Very good. Okay, good. All right, so that's it. That's our that's it. That's the movies we were talking about today. So Christmas Tennessee might be your new favorite of the off Hallmark?
I think it is. Yeah.
Cool. Good. My favorite is still Christmas Perfection, and I talked about it again with Casey on this week's regular episode.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that Amber would be able to join us, because I'm really dying to hear what she thinks of it. But it was still really fun to talk about it with Casey. And that's still my favorite. I just love it. I've seen it now 3-4 times, and I just love it more. Every time I see it, I notice new things that I didn't notice before. And I'm like, oh, that was so clever. And guess what? I found out that the writers of Christmas Perfection are writing the new Mulan movie. How crazy is that?
Whoa.
Yeah. So go them.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah, pretty cool. And so anyway, that's my favorite. And then the Christmas Contract, Angela's Christmas, and then Christmas Chronicles are my top 4. So
I don't have a list.
Yeah. So let us know what you thought of these movies. I think of these movies, my favorite is Angela's Christmas is my favorite, and then Christmas Lost and Found would probably be my second favorite. So. Anyway, lots of fun stuff. So let us know what you think, if you've gotten to see any of these. And if you've seen others that you want us to check out, just let us know, or let us know on Twitter. And we will do our best to give them a watch. And so much fun. Thanks so much, Amy. You're the best.
No problem. This is fun. Yay.
How can people find you?
You can find me on You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at It's Amy Craig, and on YouTube, youtube.com/WeekendAllStars. I am doing Vlogmas, which is another thing I am doing because I'm insane. So if you want to see me for 25 days straight, go check that out.
Yes, you guys should check it out. It's really fun. So thanks so much, and make sure you're following the podcast, the Hallmarkies Pod, all over social media and on iTunes. If you give us your ratings and your reviews, we really appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. That would be very Christmassy of you. Thanks so much. And you can follow me at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and on YouTube. Really have a lot of fun doing that. I'm doing Christmas reviews each Monday for Family Movie Night, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So let us know what you think, and we will talk to you all later. Bye! Merry Christmas!
Bye! Merry Christmas!